Good evening, Guardians. It's that time of the week again where we look for Xur, and as you can see, I am on the Vestian outpost in the Reef, and Xur is just over here. And what has he got with him this week? He has the chest armor legacy engram, which decrypts at a maximum of 170, so it's year 1 stuff, 170 light. So if you don't have some year 1 stuff and you're a collector, go grab that, and that could be interesting coming up with Age of Triumph in a few weeks' time, but otherwise I would recommend steering clear from that. So, for the Titans, this week he's got Imperium Bellicose, which is interesting because this particular helmet helps you with things that have airborne, which the Nightfall, for example, this week has airborne on it. Anti-grav thrusters, aiming weapons while in the air will hold you in place for a short time, and orbs collected while your super is full will recharge your melee ability. I personally think that last bit is a bit painful because it means that orbs don't stay on the ground if you happen to run over them accidentally while you've got a full super, but otherwise anti-grav thrusters is really handy with airborne. Airborne gives you double damage, it gives you the ability to snipe and do all kinds of stuff while you're hanging in the air. We've got a discipline strength roll here, so let's just have a quick look here. We've got a discipline strength roll at a 103, which is 8 points below max, so not terribly great, but you know, not terrible. And we've got Inverse Shadow, one of my favorite perks, increased super energy gain from killing minions of the darkness. Second Thoughts, which is the same thing but only with special weapon kills on minions, and Better Already starts the shield recovery immediately after an orb pickup. I guess the upside of Imperium Bellicose with perks like Infusion or Better Already is that regardless of whether you've got an super or not, you can still pick up an orb, so it still procs. And what have we got for the Hunters? We've got Knucklehead Radar at that's a 98 roll. That's pretty terrible for a helmet. So 111 helmet, we're looking at 98. That's pretty terrible. The Knucklehead Radar has this exotic perk called Sensor Pack, which gives you essentially third eye for all primary weapons if you're wearing it. The radar is active when you're aiming down sights. We've got, again, Discipline Strength roll. We've got Inverse Shadow and Hands-On this time, so super energy from meleeing minions of the darkness. And Innovation, where you get bonus grenade energy on orb pickups. And for the Warlocks, we have Nothing Manacles. These are sensational gauntlets if you don't have them and you run a Void Walker. Even if you don't, you probably should run these and give Void Walker a crack. At a 96 roll out of 99, they're not terrible. They're not super great, but they're pretty darn good. 96 out of 99 is a pretty good roll. That's certainly in the 12 tier range. In fact, I've run 12 tiers on a 90 roll on gauntlets before, so 96 is pretty bloody good. And we're talking intellect and discipline, which if you're looking for a good roll on gauntlets, I'd say that's right up there. Now, Scatter Charge gives you the ability for, well, first of all, you get an extra scatter grenade, but second, it gives those scatter grenades tracking, which makes them super potent. And if you've got things like Embrace the Void, I think it's called, Embrace the Void, and Lifesteal, things like that on your Void Walker trees enabled, then if you have those perks, basically you throw a grenade, you get your grenade back instantly, and on top of that, hey, you're regenerating health as well by getting kills. We've got an Intellect Discipline roll, which I said. Energy Projection gives you the ability to throw your grenade further, or Impact Induction, where you get bonus grenade energy on melee hits. We also have Auto Rifle Loader or Sniper Rifle Loader, where either one of these will increase the reload speed of either auto rifles or sniper rifles. The weapon this week is Truth, which has been nerfed into the ground, but they're talking about, you know, bringing some of that back by maxing out this reload speed here so that we're compensated for the magazine size of just one. They've also nerfed Prototype Truth Seeker. The target tracking, seeking their targets aggressively, that's not as aggressive as it used to be. The grenades and horseshoes doesn't proc the same way as it used to. Magazine size is down to 1. Reload speed, they're talking about maxing that out to compensate. But Truth has gone from being an excellent rocket launcher to yeah. Anyway, The Curios this week, Plasma Drive and Emerald Coil give you those booster thrusted trails, the blue and the green, behind your rare sparrows if you upgrade them to legendary using these puppies. And then we've got heavy ammo since 3 for 1 strange coin, a 10 for 3 strange coins. This one here, 10 for 3, is the single best method of ranking up in the game right now. Farm strange coins, go see this guy, grab as many heavy ammo synths as you can if you're not yet 390. Then go and see your faction, if that's Dead Orbit, New Monarchy, or Future War Cult, and spam the heck out of them. If you've got the exotic class item for that faction, then whack it on while you're giving the donations, and then switch to your highest light when you grab your rewards, and that will get you to 390. Just doing that, farming strange coins, spamming heavy ammo donations. Once you get to 390, switch to 3 of coins. 3 of coins, you can farm for exotics. You can do that in places like Iron Tomb, in the Crucible, if Iron Banner were on, which was on last week, not this week, but Iron Banner, any bosses in the raids, although Siege Engine doesn't count, for example, and neither does Death Singer and stuff like that. But the 3 of coins, that'll get you to 400. If you're needing a class item or an artifact or a ghost, go to Archon's Forge and do a bit of farming there for those. That'll get you to 400. If you are wanting to change the perks and the stats and you want to give those a crack, the Twist Fate node on any of the exotic armor, any exotic armor piece, you can use the glass needles here. For 3 strange coins, 3 motes of light, and an exotic shard, you can pick up glass needles, 3 glass needles, and that will give you the ability to use Twist Fate, and that will randomize the perks and the stats. Now, of course, Nothing Manacles is a grenade-related exotic item, so you're always going to have discipline. It'll either be intellect discipline, pure discipline, or discipline strength. You'll never have an intellect strength roll with Nothing Manacles because it's a grenade item, so bear that in mind, which means that the perks are always going to be grenade-oriented as well in this middle tree here. So bear that in mind with any exotic armor piece that you're trying to re-roll. If you're looking for a specific perk, consider what the item actually does, and just realize that sometimes you might not be able to use that item with that particular roll. So the other thing, like I said, it is random, so you could burn through 50, 100, however many glass needles and still not get the roll that you're after. If you're looking for a particular stat roll. Perfect stat roll, for example, you might not get it after 50. I've gone through 30 on one single item, and I was better off staying with the roll that I had originally after 30. The materials exchange, we've got 2 strange coins for 1 mode of light, or 7 strange coins for 1 exotic shard. Exotic shards are easier to farm. If you've got 1 exotic shard handy, you can, and there's an easy way to get one, you just buy one of these puppies up here and then shard it, or and if you upgrade the Truth, for example, with 8 motes of light, you'll get 2 exotic shards. But what I'm going to suggest here is you go to the kiosk on the wall, you buy yourself a heavy weapon, whether it be a machine gun, a sword, or a rocket launcher. Rocket launchers are easy. You just whack in 8 motes of light. Do not unlock them, but don't buy the upgrades, and then switch it out, dismantle it, you get yourself 2 exotic shards. Thank you very much for coming. Much easier and quicker way to farm. Obviously, if you don't have motes of light, well, that's going to change things. And if you're missing an exotic shard, well, then I recommend picking one up for 7 strange coins and then using that farming method to do it. Personally, I don't need to do that. I've got about 150 exotic shards, but I don't need them. So I don't use them because I don't need them. Anyway, that is Xur for this week. The Body Armor Legacy Engram, Imperium Bellicose. Grab it if you don't have it as a Titan, because it's useful, especially when Airborne is active, which was every week for about 6 weeks a couple months back. Knucklehead Radar for the Hunter, take it or leave it. Nothing Manacles, I would say, is a must for a Warlock. If you don't have it, do buy it. Truth, I'd grab it if you don't have it. If you don't, if you already have it or you've got the ability to grab it off the wall, then, obviously don't. It's been nerfed, and I personally don't recommend using it that much at this point in time unless they make some changes, which is unlikely given Age of Triumph is coming up. He is in the Reef. I hope you got something out of this video, Guardians. If you did, please give it the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can catch me on Twitter and on Instagram, BoylerRoom81. Thanks for watching, Guardians. I'll see you next time.